It's been a minute.
Hey guys.
It's been about 9 months.
Yeah.
A lot has
Sorry about
happened. A lot has happened. We have a good reason for not. No, we don't really have a good reason. We have no good reason except for life.
Yeah.
And we traveled and we did things, and now we ended up in a different place. And
Still
life
traveling.
is great. A lot of different scenarios, a lot of different situations. Got rid of old friends, made our circle smaller, all that stuff. You know, like the great things you hear.
Purged a lot of things out of our lives, but since the last time that you guys saw us, we just had got together.
Yeah, we'd only been together 4 months.
Was it even that? Well, yeah.
No, more than that. July, August, September, October, November. So it's about 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
Now it's been over a year.
Yeah. And we have some updates on what's happened in that year.
I guess we can kind of fill them up to date as like what happened, as
Yeah.
like what's leading up to where we're at right now. But
So when we first started the channel, we
first,
felt, huh?
the last video we did, we were in Vegas.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think all of them that we did, we were in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were in the West Coast somewhere.
Yeah. We were just trying to, we felt called to do it at the time. And just like we feel called to do it right now, that's one thing is like, we're going to post when we feel called to, not some schedule that somebody else has put.
Yeah, so don't be like, oh my God, it's Tuesday.
Oh, where are they at?
9 o'clock, they said they were going to post. No.
No.
We post whenever we want.
All right, so we were in Vegas. From Vegas, we had left and went. Where did we go after that? Did we go to Cali?
Yep. We went to Cali, then back to Arizona, then we went to... No. The last video was in November.
Yeah.
That means we were in Arizona.
Yeah.
We started
one.
this whole channel
Yeah.
in
Vegas.
Vegas. Our last one was in Arizona. From Arizona, we went to Arkansas. We went to Arkansas, stayed there
And
for a
then-
month and a half.
When we got to Arkansas, we just took off with our life, and we really didn't get into making videos or anything at that time. We were in the gym. We were having fun. We were living. And
We got involved with the company.
yeah, we were working, and
We were doing a lot of corporate stuff, a lot of just calls, a lot of web designs, a lot of
meetings,
domain names, a lot of just
building websites,
5
all that
a.m.
stuff.
jobs, 5 a.m.
Yeah.
works. But
Yeah.
we went from Arkansas, and then from Arkansas we went back to Arizona, and then from Arizona we went to Oregon, and we stayed in.
Well, we went from Arizona to California, and we
And then we went up.
vacationed a little bit with some friends who flew out from Jersey.
Yep.
And then from there we went up to Oregon, and we stayed there for a little while. And while we were in
About
Oregon,
3 or 4 months.
we made something while we were there, or 2 somethings while we were there.
Yeah, we weren't essentially planning on it, but we just go with the flow. You know what I mean? We go with what happens, and it led us to. Would you like to stand up and kind of?
I'll kind of give you a view of
There's a
the
baby.
baby.
There's a
Babies.
So
Yeah.
I'm a proud father. She's already been mother, but potentially we have intuitively we already know that there's twins in there, and she can tell you for that.
Yeah. So when we were in Oregon, we were working out every other day. We were very healthy, health conscious, all this, and I went to Zumba one morning. And I was like, I want to try Zumba. I've never done Zumba. And I got up that morning and I was like, okay, something doesn't feel right. I feel awkward going to the gym this morning. I felt off.
The day was off.
Yeah,
Something's
it
not
was
right.
so off from the time that we got up. And we got there and I was stretching and I'm like my body was still resistant walking into that room. I felt it because I remember sitting on the ground and being like, okay, this is just not feeling right. And then I get into the room and we start doing the whole routine, and I had an old injury where I tore my MCL, and I guess I didn't heal it properly when I was younger, because I was doing this one turn where you stand on one leg and you kind of like bounce around in a circle. It was really weird. And when I did that, I heard a pop, and I saw the top of my leg go down beside the bottom of my leg, and I fell to the ground. And in that moment, instead of going, oh my God, my leg, even though that did come about where I was like, okay, my leg, I saw that I was pregnant, and I was like, what the fuck am I thinking about pregnancy right now for? I'm in pain.
I just popped something on my knee and
oh, you're pregnant. But see, before that happened, I was wearing, what was that thing called? The waist trainer.
Yeah.
I was wearing that to the gym, and I remember it kept getting tighter. And I was like, why the fuck is this thing getting tighter? This doesn't make any sense. I'm working out more. I know this should be getting looser on me.
And I remember you mentioning that too. It was crazy. I remember you were just like, this is not working. It's like getting tighter for some reason. I'm like, maybe you're just bloated or something. Is it that time of the month? Is something happening? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, and it wasn't. It was totally not that. Anyway, when I had that vision, I remember laying in the floor, and the instructor who I became friends with, she runs out of the room and she goes to get him.
Yeah, we were
he
at the
thinks
gym.
that she's inviting him into the room to dance.
She's like, come here. I'm like, what's up? I'm working out. What's going on? She's like, I know you're running the class right now. Why are you outside of the class?
Yeah.
And I come to class, and then she's on the ground and holding her leg, and I helped
walk.
her out. We
went to the doctor, all that stuff.
Yeah, we took care of everything.
Decided, we're going to self-heal my leg and all of that. We went home, and about 2 days later, I think it was when I was like...
It was within that week or something.
Yeah, it was within the week. So within like a 5 to 7 day period, I was like, okay, my period's late. I've had a vision of being pregnant. My waist trainer is not fitting right, and my period is late. And I'm like, okay, it's nothing. I've never in my life had a late period except when I was pregnant. So I was like, already like, oh my God, okay, oh my God. And I expressed it to him that I was late, and I was like,
I wasn't stressing.
I was like, could there be a possibility that there's something going on here? And he's like, well, yeah, now that you say it.
I was like, there's only 1 or 2 times where, I was debating. I was like, did I? In time, was I proper with my pullout? I'm sitting there, I'm just like, there is 1 or 2 times that this could have been possible. So I'm like, it's definitely possible, but I have a perfect record. And I was like, this is not happening. It's like, I was like, maybe you're just late. It's just one of those days, like it's happening, no worries, just pop your knee, you're stressed. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And
then a few days after that,
I
start violently throwing up.
She starts throwing up, I'm like, she's probably pregnant.
Yeah, morning sickness hit so rampant, like worse than I had ever felt before. Like I've had 3 pregnancies, all singletons, and let me tell you, I'm in the 3rd trimester right now, and I still suffer from it. Like I went, the first 3 months straight, it was nonstop, 3 times a day, throwing up. I was offended. My nose was offended by everything and everyone.
A small bite of a cracker, just did her in.
I ate half a cracker, and I threw up 3 times from eating half a cracker. I was like, okay, this does not make sense at all. This should be helping me, not making it worse.
Yep.
So, anyway, we decided to go unassisted. We decided to take the natural route. We decided to trust our intuition instead of trying to follow what everybody else said we should be doing, because our bodies know naturally what they're supposed to be doing and how to take care of a situation like this. So It was like, why am I going to go put myself in the care of someone else, have someone else tell me how to do it and what I should be doing, dictating to me the experience that I'm going to have with my child as this is happening, or pump me full of medication or full of vaccines or
prenatals,
sugar, or for the test that they do, all this stuff, or give EMF radiation the fuck out of my belly so that they can see inside there, because they need to see it. But I know my body, and I know if something's wrong inside of me. And you can ask him, as soon as something is going on, I take action. I figure out, okay, this is not right. I need to fix it right now. And so I don't need a doctor to tell me anything like that.
We don't need it. None of you need it.
Yeah,
so if you're pregnant, if you have kids, or having kids, or had a kid,
disclaimer,
you don't need a doctor.
Disclaimer: you have to get sensitized, though. You have to have your senses about yourself, meaning you have to feel your way. You got to be able to be in touch with your intuition and know what's going on inside of you, and not be reliant on everything else to give you the information that you need. Because you can't eat shit food. You can't.
You have to be conscious of everything. You have to be aware with what's going on in your body, who's around you, the energy around you, the frequencies around you, everything. Because the moment you do something that's technically not natural for the human body, that's when people start seeing symptoms that they don't know what they are, and they don't know how to read it or understand it. So that's when they go to outside help. And the outside help, the doctors are just doing what they've been programmed to do inside of their teachings and their schools, and say, hey, let's just get the ultrasound, come back every couple weeks.
And not to mention they're on a comp plan. So every ultrasound, money in their bank. Every test they do, money in their bank. Everything that they do for you that you think is because they care, it's because they are making money off of it.
If they really cared, why would people really need to make money for it?
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah. So anyway, just like I said, disclaimer, take care of yourself. You can't do things to yourself to pollute your body that would cause complications and reasons for you to have something outside of yourself to assist you. So
if you have any complications as it is, then you need to check yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's not anybody else's fault but
yourself.
yourself.
You should not be having complications. You should not be having any of these things, all right? And that's a whole nother topic of discussion when we get into the depths of ourselves and all that shit.
We'll do that in other videos. But getting back on track, this all started happening. She started getting throwing up, and I started having visions. I started having dreams, like, of a daughter. At first it was one, and I was like, I think I saw a vision of our daughter, and she got in my face. She was upset with me. She was pissed. I was like, why is she pissed at me?
With him because he upset me.
She was pissed at me, and I'm like, hey, I think I saw her. And then another week or so, I don't remember the timeline, but I ended up having another dream, but this time it wasn't one, there was two. And I was like, babe, you might be having twins. Like, and I started joking around with it. I was like, you're joking, or I'm joking, and she's joking, and I was like, put it out there, but just always in a joking manner. And short story, a little fun fact. She is due for her generation to have twins. I found out in my family's family tree, that the generation of my children are supposed to be twins. So like everything that has led up to twins. So her children, she's supposed to have twins. My children, I'm supposed to have twins, according to how it goes.
So I had the vision as well. I had the dream that there were two and all of that, and I started to have like, what really set it in for me was when I started at like 10 weeks, I started feeling movement on two different sides of my uterus, and I was like, whoa, you're not big enough to do this to me.
Yeah. By the time
there's no way that you
were doing it. The fetus should have been like this small, and you shouldn't be feeling two kicks on two sides of your stomach.
So then it went from that to it happening, and it wasn't at the same time. It wasn't like a baby flailing its arms and legs at the same time and you feel it on both sides. It was hours apart. There was a different time stamp on it. It was like one sleeping, the other one's active. This one's sleeping, that one's active. I started noticing where they were positioned, which one felt more feminine, which one felt more masculine. And the funny part was when I would have a craving for something, and at the same time have an aversion for that same thing. It would be like, I want to eat it, I want to eat it. I'm like, that's the way that it was. So I was like, when they come out, I'm going to test them and see which one did this to me. Which one of you hated this thing and loved it at the same time? Like, I want to find out. So that's going to happen. But anyway, all of that went down, and that's what we've been doing. And we took off out of the mainland. We left the United States. We
felt called to leave America.
Yeah, we were like, you know what? We don't want to deal with the whole system that
the moment you go public with things out there, like then people are up your ass. They CPS and all the legal systems are going to say you have to go here, you have to do that. So it's like you can't have a personal birth. You have to go through outside sources to guide you through your own birth. There are ways
to do it, but you can't. You have to have good support systems.
Strict, yes.
So if you have in a family that's completely indoctrinated to the way that they've taught you to be, then you're going to have that battle with them. But anyway, we left because not just that. Also, we knew that we didn't want our child to be forced to have vaccines. If you look at the fucking shit, they're forcing so many vaccines on you. I have one child that was already vaccine injured. I'm not doing that or allowing that to happen again. So That was another reason that took us out of the States. And we have been on an island since then. What, almost 5 months now? 4 months. 4.
It's about coming up 5.
Yeah. So, we were looking at the YouTube. I just logged into it literally tonight, and I was like,
it's been 9 months since we checked it.
Yeah, I'm like, babe, do you see this? We actually have people on here that we need to be continuing this with. So we were like, well, let's do it. So that's why
here we are. We didn't realize that our first video got 2,000 views, and then we got 50 something subscribers.
Yeah.
Like we were just putting content out there.
Yeah, and so like the things that we were seeing, one of the things that I wanted to touch on was people were saying, you know, that's your story, and you know, not everybody gets to come into their twin that same way that you did, blah blah blah. Everything that you guys are saying, we hear you.
Everybody's different.
What I want to say is though, if you and your twin are doing this, or running away from each other, or causing each other trauma, then you guys don't need to be trying to be together right now. You need to be working on yourself and clearing the trauma that you have, because each of us have a pain body, and that pain body needs to be removed, and you got to transcend your flesh before you can actually have the kind of relationship and everything start to work effortlessly for you when you're together. Now, when we got together, we told you guys it was like a random thing. We didn't even, when we announced we were in a relationship, I don't think either one of us believed that we were in a relationship.
Yeah, things are back in our old videos. Our relationship is way like at a high point now. So like back then, you know, we were still getting things rolling, especially me especially. It was way new for me, but after going through the journey and seeing how things unfold and watching the manifestations of our reality just come into like how it's supposed to be, and just watching how the energies flow throughout our life. It's after experiencing it allowed me to grow even further and allowed me to understand even more of how powerful our relationship is and how truly like how big of twin flames we really are. Like, back then it may not have been
he was talking it back then, but he didn't really know what he was talking about.
Yeah, like you can know things and still like educate people, but if you don't experience it for yourself, you truly can't get that message across. And like I was giving you guys a message and it was getting across, but I still had to go through my own experience to figure it out, and I needed more time. So this 9 months that we didn't purposely take off for was perfect, because everything has aligned with the way it was supposed to be. We're on an island right now. We're living the life that we want to live. We have friends coming out here. We have babies on the way. We have just everything is just manifesting beautifully. We're on our alignment path, and
it came from us letting go of our flesh. So there were times like when you are with your twin. Now this I can say. You're going to have moments where your trauma body, as you're healing, because he was a great help in my healing, because he would listen to me. Anything that, if he triggered me, because that's going to happen. You're going to get triggered. Both of you are going to get triggered.
Guys,
in your twin.
You're going to do that.
Yeah, so don't expect to not get triggered, but it's how you handle the trigger, right? If you handle the trigger in a way where you're trying to grow, then you're going to grow from it. You're going to overcome the trigger. You're not going to get stuck there in the trauma and the pain and feeling that. So I would get triggered, and he would feel it. Even when when we first got together, he could feel my energy. He never had to ask me anything. He'd be like, all right, I feel you, and something's not right here.
I also, I could feel you stronger than anybody else I've ever felt before, but growing up too, like I always could sense unease and dis-ease in people. Like if something was up, like I already knew, but I would ask them what's going on, and I would just hear them say, oh, then everything's fine, and I would just be like, all right, it's not my business. But being that this is my twin flame and she's my love, I have to figure it out. I came from it at a point where I wasn't looking to hear her say something to react and then retaliate to the things that I did that triggered her. I looked for things that, all right, what did I do that triggered her? Because obviously she knew way more than me, and I was very new into this realm, but I knew I had to fix things. I knew I wasn't perfect, but I had to get to a point where I had to humble myself, knew that I wasn't always right, and separate myself from my emotions. So there would be times where I would trigger her, and things that she'd say the things that she would say because of the things that I triggered her, triggered me in a sense, but I didn't retaliate. I sat there, I processed, And then I was like, okay, like, well, how did that make you feel? What happens if I did this? Or, I apologize. Like, I would own up to it. And that's the only way you can grow. You have to be able to accept, but you can't look for an emotional response. You have to be able to accept things, understand it, process it, and then move on past it. If you can't do that, you're not meant to be in a relationship, or you're just not with your twin flame. Because if you can't see continuous growth, why are you even in a relationship together? Like, the point is to grow together, to experience life together.
And so,
you can't do that if you're looking to get triggered because they said something that you didn't want to hear.
Yeah, and it just becomes a battle.
Bitch, get ready for it. You're going to hear things you don't want to hear, and you got to humble yourself and then figure out why it doesn't feel right to you.
Whoever has healed the most, whoever has released their flesh the most, like when that trigger comes, whoever, like for him, example, he was saying, I had to humble myself. And it wasn't because I knew so much or anything like that. It's just I've been through so much. And I'd already released so many levels of my flesh that I knew what I was willing to tolerate and what I was not willing to tolerate in my existence. And what kind of behavior I was willing to coexist with. And that's another part of it. If you're with your twin, you guys both need to have standards for what you're willing to tolerate in your kingdom.
Yeah.
And so the things that he was triggering me on were actions of his flesh that he had not shed yet. He had not gotten rid of yet. And so we identified that. And the last time that he triggered me from the flesh was 2 months ago?
Yeah, Lukio.
2 months ago. So, and that was the last time that I'd gotten triggered by his flesh action. Since then, he realized, yes, that was something that I was doing from the flesh, and he removed that. And that's no longer part of what we deal with anymore. And we have the best communication. That's a big one.
You have to be communicating. And there's one thing that I talk about before I met her, when I was doing business and I was running companies and building teams and holding calls to get people in the right state of mind. It was communication. Everything that I've ever done in my life that has been a failure has been because of lack of communication, miscommunication, or lack of comprehension of communication, meaning you didn't understand what they were saying or you misinterpreted it, all that stuff, right? And I push that on people because if you're always transparent, if you're always authentic, if you're always just speaking what's on your mind and letting people know how you feel about something, there's never a miscommunication, so everyone's on the same playing field and there can be growth from there. But two, now you're not hiding feelings inside that cause you disease, right? That causes your throat to hurt, that hurts your heart, your stomach, your pains, right? Because if you don't let something off your chest, anybody watching this knows what it feels like to hold a feeling inside and hold it on your chest for a while. And it hurts. It sucks. You actually get sick from that, right? There's a science behind that. You will cause your body to go into a lower state frequency, causing your immune system to shut down, letting any outside frequency, diseases, bacteria, germs, to infiltrate your system and get you sick. That's causing disease. But you need to be able to recognize it and be able to get it off your chest because you understand how great it feels when you say it. So here's an example. If she's having a problem, when she got triggered, her first response when I asked her, I was like, "Is everything okay?" She's like, "No, like everything's fine." You know what I mean? Like they'll mask it.
My pain body would come out.
So I'd be like, "No, nothing is fine. Something's wrong. You need to tell me what it is because if you don't tell me what it is, you're going to get hurt even more internally, like spiritually. You're going to actually hurt yourself. You need to tell me." So that I didn't want her to hurt herself first off, so I needed to hear her say it so she could feel better about it.
Yeah.
And when she released it, it's like a breath of fresh air. You can get it off. And here's another example. Girls or guys, maybe you're trying to talk to your twin flame. You're trying to talk to somebody you like and you think is supposed to be in your life. But you don't have the courage or the oomph to say it. And because you're lacking that feeling, it's eating you inside for not wanting to say how you feel to that person that you think is your significant other. You have to say it. Look at it as a win-win. It's a win where you get it off your chest. So now you feel, I feel amazing now. I got it off my chest. Cool. I don't have to think about it anymore. I said what I needed to say. And they're either going to take it and be like, "Oh my God, I feel the same way." And now you grow together. Or they say, "I'm sorry, I don't feel the same way." And guess what? You move on. And it's like, wow, I got that off my chest. I know what I know. I got the communication. Now I can either take it and grow with it or forget it and move on to the next person or to the next part of your life, in which you'll meet somebody else that you might have the same feelings for. But you have to let those feelings out, because you could just, that if you bottle up these feelings, it's gonna self-implode.
Yeah.
So you can't do that to yourself.
So in this whole journey, we put together a course, a transcendence course, so that people could learn how to transcend their flesh, activate their pineal gland, be able to govern their life through the ether first instead of from the physical first, because everything is created from the ether. And so it was a big aha moment for our students, because they were able to no longer be victim to the things that they were experiencing. Instead, they were stepping back, and they had a full spectrum overview of everything that was happening in their life, how they were building it, why it was there, and all of these different things. And one of the classes that we were teaching was about the algorithm of self. And this algorithm, the algorithm of self, states that everything that you could ever dream to, even more than you could dream to have, was already predestined for you and waiting for you here on earth, right?
We all have a destiny.
Yeah, and you physically cannot imagine and manifest the multitude of abundance of what was already preset for you. You're so filthy abundant that you don't even know it, because you are selling yourself short by trying to manifest something lower than that.
The material world.
And not even just the material world, like your abundance in your algorithm is part of the immaterial world. You're going to get a lot of things that are very abundant that you couldn't even come up with in your mind, right? But you are holding that away from yourself because you have all these other things and desires. Desire is the flesh. You have to get rid of desire, that is holding you from doing that. So in your algorithm of self, it's like, it literally is an algorithm. It's a formula. It's a code. And in that code, your twin flame sits. And the only way that you can find that one is to get out of your own fucking way and align with it. Right? And like I said, if you have already found it, but you haven't put all those other pieces together that you were supposed to, and removed all that other baggage and bullshit, then you're going to be doing this with your twin the entire time. And it will be, you will end up being like, oh, I want to chase you, or I want to run from this. That will happen. But you caused it. That's what you have to understand. It's not something that was set out that says, oh, so for 3 years you guys are going to just chase each other. No. Wake up and think. You have to actually fix yourself. You have to purge yourself. You have to leave your flesh behind, because you and your twin cannot do the things that you're supposed to do for humanity or yourself or anything in this world to fulfill your destiny if you don't get rid of that. That's when you come together and you help other people. How can you help someone else if you haven't helped yourself get there first? You can't. So how can you expect to have a cohesive relationship, that can be completely effortless? We barely have to communicate. When we do communicate, it's like, oh shit, I was just thinking that. Like, we literally are finishing each other's
reading each other's minds.
Yeah, constantly. And you can get to that level, but you have to get rid of all of your blockages and all your baggage and all of your pain body and all the things that you're holding on to, because you are essentially blocking everything that was supposed to be part of your algorithm from actually aligning with you. It's not about saying, hey, this is what I want out of life. It's about removing all obstacles from your life and allowing everything that was meant for you to actually arrive.
You have to let go. We all know it. You all know it from everything that you've experienced. If you want to have everything that's supposed to be in your life, you have to take the leap of faith. You have to trust. You have to, when you take that leap, it could be, for us, it was, we left a house in Arizona. And we've been homeless technically we've been homeless ever since.
By society standard, we have been homeless. We have not had not one moment without food or shelter.
We haven't been on the streets, if you're asking.
Yeah.
So, but you need to look at and find that thing that is holding you back. It could be your job. It could be your wife, husband, that is technically your twin flame.
Oh, speaking of, if you have a husband or a wife or a boyfriend or girlfriend right now that's in your field that's not supposed to be there, you're being very selfish. Because one, you're scared to tell them that, this is how I feel and this is my standards for my kingdom. And you're holding on to something that belongs in someone else's algorithm. Yes. It was never supposed to be in yours. And that's why you're doing this with a lot of the relationships that you're in, because they never belong to you. That relationship was never supposed to be there. And you, like I said, are being very selfish because they can't get with who they're supposed to be with, and you can't either. You are the one that is causing the halt there. You're the clog in the wheel.
Yep. So you have to be able to understand
Admit
that.
that.
Yeah, admit that.
Yeah.
And because you might want to be in a relationship because you feel like you need to fit into the twin flame society or every other type of standard
Everyone desires
that involves
it,
a
we know.
relationship. But if you're having problems that you know is the other person or yourself that you just can't seem to get together with, you are holding that person back from their significant other, and you're holding yourself back from finding your significant other. So don't do it. Don't look at it like, oh, it's not you, it's me. It's you have to understand that you have a predestined outcome to your life, and you getting in the way of yourself is only going to slow down where you need to go and how you need to align to it. So what I was saying before is look for that thing that's holding you back. It could be a person, a job, your friends, your environment, a material thing, whatever it is that's holding you back. You need to be able to detach emotionally from it so that you can then take the leap that you needed to take. So it could be if you quit your job, you need to go move to a different state or a different country. Take that leap and trust that everything is going to work out. And the reason you have to fully trust it is because by the laws of creation, two entities cannot live in the exact same space. So for example, my exact cells down to the subatomic level cannot take over the exact same space her subatomic cells are actually, or cells and then subatomic level of them, are actually filling. I would be somewhat displaced from them, never in the exact same place. So when it comes to trust and doubt,
those are two entities.
They're physical, ethereal things. Like they are actually things. They're frequencies. They're
in the
feelings.
Physical world, you call it an emotion, but in the ethereal world, it is an actual entity.
It has a force. It has gravity. It has a life. It actually has consciousness. It is what it is. But trust and doubt cannot live in the same place. So you may trust that, oh, everything's going to work out for my job. But the moment you have the slightest second thought, or what if, or I don't know, then that doubt now replaces in full all the trust. You can't say, oh yeah, I trust it out loud, but in their thoughts they're saying, I don't know. If you, whatever your inner thoughts are telling you is what's truly happening. So actions speak louder than words. Well, your inner voice speaks louder than your outer voice. Like you need to be able to read yourself and really feel that everything is working out for you with no doubt. You have to live in the uncertainty. This is where you manifest everything. The people think that, oh, if I just constantly keep refeeling all the things I learned from my past, I'll get a different outcome. You all know the saying, if you constantly keep redoing something over and over and over again and just keep doing the same thing, that's called insanity. Well, if you keep referring back to old feelings, familiar thoughts and patterns, you're going to keep getting the particular outcome, a very set and predictable future. So you have to put yourself in a place where you don't know what's going to happen. In the unknown, the place that everybody fears. If you don't know what's happening, people technically are scared. In business, if you don't know what's going to happen next month, and with numbers and things, people are like, oh, you should really think about that, right? People hate living in the unknown, I don't know what's going to happen, or the uncertainty. But that's the thing. Everybody creates from there. It's when you are in that space is when you're able to then manifest everything that is supposed to be in your life. That's the only time. Because now you are then thinking of a new future. You're thinking of a new you. Hence, the universe is going to then give you and make you what that new you is. You're going to vibe at a different frequency. Your cells are going to start replicating and doing things and molding to that new person that you are seeing in the unknown. Yeah. So you have to take the jump. You have to trust it. You have to be in the unknown at all times because that's where you have the most fun, the most creation.
To have, yes.
So if you're constantly planning things, oh, this week's got to go that way, the next month has to be like this, you are not living the true life of a twin flame of a spiritual being.
And if you're planning all the time, how can you align with what's meant to be if what's meant to be was never told to you, but is a path that you have to feel your way to? That narrow path that they all talk about. You must feel your way to alignment with all of the things that were always meant to be yours. You can't plan your way to them. If you plan your way to them, you're never going to acquire them. It's never going to happen.
See, there's the problem. The people are always talking about manifesting the things that they want, right? Well, you can manifest anything you want. You want a car? Cool, you can
You can
manifest a
manifest
car.
that right
If
now.
you want a girl or a guy, you can manifest that. You want to manifest a specific state or house or whatever, you can manifest that. But are those things
Meant
supposed
for
to be
you.
yours? You'll realize, right? The moment you realize, like, oh, I want to get that car, you're going to have, and if it's not meant to be in your life, you're going to realize how hard it is to keep that car. Maybe it keeps getting dinged up, maybe you can't pay the insurance, maybe it got stolen, or everything is telling you, like, damn, the universe is trying to take this shit from me. That's because it's not yours.
Yeah.
So it works it all around. So yeah,
And
go
that's
ahead.
how everything is in balance, when everybody is feeling their way to their alignment with their self, with their true algorithm.
Yeah.
When you like you said, you can go manifest that car right now, but if that car's not meant to be yours, then you're throwing everyone out of
You're throwing the whole
balance and
universe out of whack.
No.
Every single person.
We're not just these little insignificant things in this universe that have no consequence for our actions and the things that we do. We all matter in a huge way. And the sooner that we understand that, the sooner that we can all come to that balance and understanding. But I really wanted to touch on that whole subject of a lot of you that are saying, I've been with, this person 3 years, or this and that's going on, or whatever, and we keep, going back and forth, running, chasing. It's because you still have work left to do. That's the whole reason that you're going through that right now. We literally, our relationship is stronger than it's ever been. It's more effortless than it's ever been. It's more fun than it's ever been. Like,
we are living.
No
stress.
It's more ethereal than it's ever been. Like, it's so funny because we kind of like can't go around most physical beings that live in the 3D world. 100% of the physical beings living in the 3D world that are not on the 5D and the ethereal yet, because when they see us interacting with each other, they're instantly like, I wish my relationship was like that.
You know how many people,
or,
like, low-key, we've broken relationships up. Because
just being
people,
ourselves.
Being
like,
ourselves,
we didn't do anything.
People doubt their relationships.
They start to have revelation of, wait a minute, this is not correct. This isn't right. And you get to that point in the 5D, when you leave your flesh. If you're still battling with someone that you're with your twin, both of you are still in your flesh. Mm-hmm. And most of you don't even know what that means.
Nor do you have the balls to speak up and actually say what you need to say.
Or to call yourself out and fix it.
You might be speak up and call yourself out. You're the problem. Actually, you're always the problem.
Yeah.
But you have to go within and recognize that and separate your thoughts. Separate yourself from the feeling that you're having, and then look at it from a higher perspective. Like, literally imagine you're over your body right now, looking at yourself and just being like, dude, what the fuck you doing? Like, why are you acting such a like a baby, like a wuss, like a third dimensional being? You should be up higher, like
why are
vibrate
you acting
higher.
From your flesh, period. When you realize what the difference is between your spirit and your flesh, you start to be able to identify very quickly, okay, this is a flesh action, this is a spirit action. We have a whole entire class where we go over this so that it can help you identify exactly what it is that you're going through and why you're doing these things and how to stop yourself from doing it. Identify it in other people so that you can keep them from causing you pain. But seriously, guys, this is about, okay, you can have the fantasy of, I'm going to have my dream of the relationship that I want with my twin flame and this fairy tale that I want to live. You can have that all day long. But if you're not being it, you're never going to acquire it. You two are just going to keep doing this forever. It's never going to actually come into being that relationship that you know it should be. Deep down in your heart, you know it. If you're in a runner chaser, or you're in a where you just is just going back and forth. Sorry, I thought that it was cutting me off.
Yeah.
But if you're doing that, where was I at? I forgot.
Being around and chasing each other around, and
then you still, like I said, you still have so much work left to do within yourself, and you have zero right. I need you to get this through your head right now. You have zero right to be trying to be in a relationship with someone else and have them be the one that's going to fulfill you in the ways that you are refusing to fulfill yourself. You are neglecting yourself right now, and then wanting to be in a relationship with someone else, and then go, hey, let's go help humanity. How the fuck are you going to help humanity?
Can't even help yourself.
Seriously. So anyway,
Anyway, well, we're gonna kind of cut this off now.
Yeah.
But guys, what we were mentioning in between this entire talk, that we had started a course called the Transcendence course, and we have a set amount of students. We do it's a 3-month progress, and we are going to refine it to the point where it's going to be a lot quicker than that. It's not going to be 3 months, it might be 1 month, it might be a week seminar, 2-week seminar. We're going to get it down to a point where people are going to be able to access it. But for the time being, the videos that we have are only given to the members that have currently paid us. But what we have, in order for us to be able to reach more people, is we put together a Patreon. And we're going to put that link in the description. So check out the link. In that link, you're going to notice that we gave out our first class for free. So you don't have to pay anything. You don't have to subscribe to anything.
And it's only $5. Doesn't get
there's different tiers. If you understand how Patreon works, you'll understand exactly what I'm saying. But there's different tiers to it. But the first video we gave out for free, because this stuff you guys need to understand. You need to know this. And for the time being, once certain things in our life play out, we'll make this free. But it's not free for the fact that we nomad, we travel, we need to take care. We got babies, like we have to take care of our times. It's an equal exchange of energy. So check out that link. See if you like the video. If you like it, let us know. If you like this video, subscribe, like, comment, share it, whatever you're gonna do with it.
And we want to let you know that when you have transcended your flesh. You will have removed everything that is stopping you and your twin from coming together, except your twin doing the same. Yeah. You can remove it on your half, but if your twin doesn't do the work too, then you still got a clog in the way.
This will make you literally an unstoppable force. Nobody can fuck with you. Not a single outside person.
The biggest thing to that statement is you won't fuck with yourself anymore.
There you go. Nobody will fuck with you, and you can't fuck with yourself anymore.
Right.
You'll just be completely... and boss, higher self mode all the time.
You'll be embodying your true divinity, what you were always supposed to be, that was taken away from you. Like, I don't know if I've told you guys this yet, but they took your crown, which is your mind. They took your throne, which is your vessel, and polluted you with all of the things that they teach you to consume and do to yourself. And they took your kingdom, which is your environment, and made you allow everything in it that would drain you of all of the energy and life force that you have, that could actually amplify you and give you the life that you always were supposed to come here to live.
Just remember, you're not, this isn't you.
No, you're more than that.
You are the spirit within this body. And when you understand the science of that, and you understand the dimensions of that, you'll see how quickly what we talk about and how everything around you affects you, and how you will be able to see through everything and everyone.
You should have seen him a year ago. Before he started, he was with me every single day taking in all this information that is now in this course. And it's like looking at him and hearing him talk, it's night and day. So much more elevated, so much more in tune, so much more on purpose, so much more knowing inside of him of what he's saying, why he's saying it, what he's doing with it.
It's confidence. And when you know something, guys, when you know this stuff, you can't unknow it. It's sealed in your brain. It's sealed in your hard drive. And everything, your DNA, records. Everything, you will not forget it, and you will then embody it, and it will become your new norm.
Yep.
So, thanks for watching, guys.
Yes,
I know it's been 9 months.
We're sorry it took so long, but we kind of like had to give birth to a baby ethereally to get back here, I guess.
Yeah, we're giving birth
9 months.
2 months, 2 or 3 months. So
3 months.
It's going to be crazy. And if you guys want to follow that story as well, we'll let you know. But let us know what topics you guys, what topics you want us to go over. We have set ones already, but like, what questions do you have? What topics do you have, or is on your mind? What is the thing that you want us to talk about based on what we know?
We'll
let us know in the comments,
and
we'll make a video. All right?
All right.
Peace out, guys.
Bye, guys.